Hello class, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing these scaled pictures. So I'm going to go to the scaled picture files on SchoolFusion, and this is all of it, but our code is right here, Fenson's Scalable Picture. And what we have to do is we have to open it up, and this is our code. So I'm going to copy this into a new class over here. Again, I'm going to do any name because the name doesn't matter. I'm going to go Control A, Control V to paste in the code, and this is a very bare minimum code. So what we need to do is we also need to see that we have all these other things here. We want to check out this one for understanding, this one for common errors, and this has all the notes on what to do stuff. So I'm going to open up this one, and I'm also going to check out yesterday's class for those. This might be different for you guys. Oh, right here, view previous homework. Click on view previous homework, and we want to go scaled picture, and this has a lot more notes on it. This is the more advanced one we're going to be working on, but first things first, we want to get an image. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up Paint, and let's go to Google image search to try and get a picture that we want to draw. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing this monkey. So this is going to be my template. So I'm going to copy this image into Paint, and what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to see what I'm drawing while I'm drawing it. I'm going to be using lines, circles, and rectangles. So what I want to do is I want to literally draw this image right over this. I'm going to use blue because there's no blue there. So my circles are going to be my circle. I'm going to have my circle. I'm going to have two eyeballs. I'm going to have giant ears. And I'm going to have, now please realize with this circle I'm clicking on the top part and the leftmost part, and then I'm dragging it to fit the face. And then I'm going to use a rectangle for the body, and then I'm going to do a line for the arms. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's all I need. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm only looking at the purple, but I'm going to be doing small, thin, red lines. I'm going to do a box around this image as tight as I can get. And so now these are my coordinates. So this is going to be up here, 0, 0. This is going to be my width. This is going to be my length. So I'm going to say length and width. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these lines right here, and I'm going to, every time I have an important line, I'm going to do a line. And now this is the spacing I want. So I'm going to go right there, there, there. So what this did was, now I have my height, so that each height is just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ooh, 10. I got really lucky. And now I want to do the width lines. I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to do green so it stands out as well. And it looks like the most important one is going to be right there. That difference right there is going to be what I draw the lines to. And please realize this isn't perfect. If you used a graph paper, it'd be a lot better. But this makes it so that I can ghetto rig it so all my numbers seem to be nice. Now each time I mess up on this scaling, it's going to distort my picture a little bit, so just be aware of that. You can change it later on. You don't have to though. Now just because this is 12 and this is 10, they don't need to both be 10. Because we're going to be scaling everything to that scale. So I'm going to have a wider than longer image, but that's okay. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. This is what matters though right there. That is my pseudocode. That tells me what I'm going to be programming and where. So now when I do this, I'm going to keep this open on the side, and now I'm going to go back to my code, and I want to start drawing this. So I need rectangles, lines, so I need g.draw rect. I need a g.draw oval and g.draw line. I'm going to delete these numbers real quick so it's easy for me to insert value. The other one I'm going to do real quick is with my line, I'm going to do a orange color, and I'm going to label all the objects. So we want this to stand out. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I know what everything is, so it's going to be really easy to comment. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to label each one of these at the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 is an oval, so I'm going to go oval. 2 is an oval, 3 is an oval, 4 is an oval, 5 is an oval, 6 is an oval, 7 is an oval. I have 1 g.draw rect, and then I have 2 g.draw lines. So now I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to delete it. And now all I have to do is insert the values. So remember that I'm going to put this down. We have x, y, width, length. And for my lines, I have x, y, x, y, which is going to be a little bit different later on. We don't need that. We need that now to get the values. So the first circle, 1, 1. What we have here is the x value. And let's make it so that the tools is a pen. It's a little bit thinner, and let's go pink. So it's like a highlighter. This is halfway through, so the x value is going to be 2.5. The y value is just 1. The width is 0.5 plus 1. So the width is 1.5. The length is 1, 2. So 1, 2. So now when I draw this, it'll be drawn right there. I want to go to number 2 now. And with number 2, please realize we're going at the halfway mark, which is 3.5. My y value right here is 0 because it's right on the top. My width is going to be from this 0.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Plus the half here is 5. And now my length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to put in 7. Now I'm going to clean this up a little bit by hitting Control Z. And so now I have that done. Now I should be checking these all at once. So let's do that. We're going to comment this all out. And we're going to check to see if this actually works. Because we don't want to go all the way through and realize it doesn't work. And so now we have these 0.5s. The way to fix this is we're going to divide this by 10 and take away the decimal. Divide this by 10. So we're multiplying 3.5 times 10, which is 35. And now we still have that decimal. So divide by 10, take away the decimal. And now when I compile it, it works, because these all need to be integer values. So we're going to lose a little bit of data there, but it'll work out once we get bigger numbers. So now I'm going to go to my code and run it. Those are way too small, but it looks like it's working, because we have the little ear and the eye. Once we get these numbers bigger, it's going to look a lot better. One other way to fix this is we could put zeros at the end of it, but I don't want to do that because I know it's going to work. The next one I'm going to do is go through and do the next oval, which is number 3 right over here. So we want to go, I'm going to go 7.75 because I think it's 3/4 of the way there. And then I'm going to end it at 9. So my width is going to be 1.25 because it's 1 and then 0.25. My y value is 1.5. So 1.5, and my length is 0.5 plus 1 plus 0.5 is 2. So I'm going to comment this to be 3, 2, 1. So now I'm on 4. 4 is the eyeball. So 4 starts at the x value of 1, 2, 3, 4.5. The y value of 1, 2.5. And I'm just going to say that's 0.5, 0.5. And so the nice thing about this is to keep the eyes the same size, I'm going to make it so they have the same width and length. This starts at 6.25, and then it's going to have the same y value, 2.5, so it's the same height. So it doesn't have all slanted eyes. So now we have 4 done and 5. 5 done. Now we need to go 6, which is the mouth. So again, I'm going to hit Control Z to undo to clean this screen. I want the X value first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The Y value is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. The width is going to be 1, 2, 3. And now remember, you're starting at the half mark. So it's going to be a half, 1, a half is 2, and that's 6. And now 7. The last oval is this one. So it's 5 and a half for the Y value. Make sure you don't mix those up. I almost did. The X value is going to be this green line, so 5. The width is 1, so 1 here, and then a half plus 1 plus a half is 2. Now we have the G.draw rect, so this is going to be 2 for X, 3.25 for Y. The width is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the height is going to be, this is 0.75. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Plus 0.75 is 5.25. And now my lines are tricky. So please realize with lines, you have a point, and given any other point, you can draw a line between the 2 points. So to make a line in Java, we take the 1 point and the other point. I'm going to make that actually right over there. I can change the picture if I want to make my numbers easier. So my X value is 2, 4. So 2, 4. This X value is 0. The Y value is 10. 0, 10. Now my other line, I'm going to put the point to be right here and the point to be right here, because I want to extend the image the full way. So this is going to be 10, 4, 10, 4. Next one's going to be 12, 10. So 12, 10. That's it. So now when we draw this, compile, oops, I got to fix all the decimals. So now instead of multiplying this by 10, I'm going to move the decimal over 2 digits. Oops. So I'm going to divide by 100 because I multiplied by 100. Divide by 10. Divide by 100. And I'm just going through and changing all these. 1 decimal place, divide by 10. 1 decimal place, divide by 10. 1 decimal place, divide by 10. Now realize these values are still going to be the same value. So 0.5 is the same as 5 divided by 10, which is 1/2, which is 0.5. That's all we're doing. Same math. This is the math in computer math. Okay, so now that we have that all done, I'm going to compile and run this. Now please realize the image is still going to be small because we're only doing 10 pixels by 12 pixels. Sorry, 12 by 10 pixels. But as you can see, it almost looks like a monkey. Either that or I must be going monkey crazy. So right now what we're going to do is, see this little I am stupid for not changing this. We got to change this to Fenson, my last name, first letter of first name, underscore scaled pictures. Then I know what program it is. Now comes the fun part. What we need to do is we want to look at those notes that helps me turn something into under scaled picture files. We're going to click on that. Pikachu notes. When we scroll down, we want code that looks like this. X plus width times A divided by G plus Y plus length times this, width and length. This is for a rectangular oval. A line is X plus width, Y plus length, X plus width, Y plus length. The A, B, C, D we just wrote, that's our values. Our G and H is going to be 12 and 10. Because if we go back to our image, 12 by 10. So our formula that we're going to be using for ovals and rectangles is going to be parenthesis X plus width times divided by 12. And inside here I'm going to leave 3 spaces because this is the value that we wrote right here. Comma, Y plus length times space 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 divided by 10, comma, width times space 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 divided by 12, comma, length times space 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 divided by 10. That's our format that we want to use. That's what we want to be copying. We don't need this picture anymore, so we're just going to focus on the code. And now we're going to go down and start converting these into this form. Now that we have this set up, we want to keep these codes, and I'm going to just restart the whole thing. So I'm going to, because I want to keep this value but still do this code. So I'm going to copy this right here. Because these are all ovals, I can go like this, copy this in. Actually, let's just do this. Let's make a g.oval line, and I need 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go Shift-Tab to pop these back. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't need this one. I'm going to do the same thing with my rectangles. So I just got to change this to draw rect. And then for my draw lines, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be the same line of code. This needs to be line, but we also, most importantly, need to put in the x plus and the y plus, so it's xy, xy. And we need 2 of those. So I'm going to Shift Tab to get them back. And so now what we have to do is we have to plug these values into here. So what we do is just cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste. And so the reason I'm cutting is that I don't copy the wrong value. I'm only doing this once. I would back up before you start doing this, because if you do mess up, you want that backup to go back to. I'm not doing that because I'm a pro. But to do that, what you would be doing is copy all this and paste it. Then you have 2 sets. So I'm going to skip ahead because this is just monotony. Okay, so now I've copied all the ovals in, so what I'm going to do real quickly is delete all this code. And now I'm going to re-comment these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I still know what they are. Now I'm going to do the rest of these, which I'll just show you again as review. This X goes in the X spot, this Y goes in the Y, the width goes in the width, and the length goes in the length. And I'm going to delete that code, and I'm going to do XY, XY. So cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, and paste. Again, please keep it quiet. So now the next line, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, and cut, paste. Now I'm going to delete these 2. And so now I have it all set up. However, when I compile this, I'm going to get an error message. The variables have not been declared. So what I need to do is I need to go int x equals, int y equals, int width equals, and int length equals. And what we need to do is we need to set values for these. We want them to be, I'm going to go 100, 100, actually 100, 200, 300, 400. And what this will do is it'll allow us to finally see our image. We're hoping it looks like that. Let's see how well I did. Look at that. That monkey is just oh so cute. It's pretty decent. Now, what we need to know is we want some to be on top and some to be on bottom. So we can see the tongue on top of everything else. Just like we have here. We don't see the mouth behind, we don't see the fur behind. So now we want to do the order. What we want to see is which thing goes on top is the tongue. Number 7. So we're going to go here, and number 7, to make it on top, is actually drawn last. Behind that is going to be the mouth, which is 6. Behind that is the face, is the eyes. And the eyes are 4 and 5, so right here. So we have the eyes. Now I want the head to be behind the ears. What's up? Oh, okay. So the head is going to be on top of the ears, so 2 needs to be right here, and then the ears can be behind that, which I can just leave those up there, and everything else should be okay. So now when I run this, we're not going to see any difference, but we will when we start changing these into fill. So the thing about this is we want all of these to be, instead of draw, we want them to be fill. So I'm going to highlight it all, and I'm going to say find. I'm going to click replace. I'm going to say draw with fill. And I'm going to do replace all. And the only thing we're going to get an error with is the fill line needs to be a draw line. When we compile this, I'm going to close that out. Now what we're going to have is one gigantic black thing. We're not going to be able to see anything. So what we need to do is we need to change up the colors. So now comes the fun part. We need to know what object is what. So we want to find right here, 7 is the tongue. So what I want to do is I want to go g.setColor to color.pink. The next one is 6. 6 is the mouth. So before 6, I want to say g.setColor color.red. And now the next one, what I want to also do is change 7 to tongue, 6 to mouth, 4 is left eye. Uh-oh. 3 is the ear, so 3 goes up here, and 5 goes down here. And this is right eye. And so the eyes, let's make them blue. So g.setColor color.blue. The next one is 2, which is the head. And we want to do g.setColor color.brown. But the thing about brown is we want everything else to be brown. I don't know if there's a light brown. Let's check. Light brown. There is no light brown. So what we want to do is we want to make a custom color of light brown. Because we want the ears 2 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 3. We'll want up here, these 2, to be a light brown so it stands out. So we're going to go to our SchoolFusion. And we want to get how to do a custom color. To do a custom color, we just go to Z-Code, I think it's here. Right here. We want to copy these two lines, and we want to go up here and set the color. And what I want to do is, instead of my color, I'm going to say light brown. Copy this, paste it here. And now these numbers right here, we want to go get those numbers. So what we do is we open up Paint, and we want to go Edit Colors. I want to click, if I click on brown, it'll give me that brown. But I want to make my own brown. I want it to be a light brown that looks like an ear color. So I'm going to go right there. So 126, 83, 1. So I'm going to go into my code, and instead of these numbers, I'm going to go 126, 81, and 1. See if I got that right. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's right. Good enough. I clicked on that. So now when I compile and run this, there is no brown, which I found out. So we need to make that brown. So we're going to go to Paint again and do another custom color. And I want to click on a brown that looks like... So I'm going to move this over so I can still see it on my code. And we want to copy this. I'm going to call this brown. And instead of color.brown, we're just literally going to do brown because brown is of color type. We don't need to put color dot. And so we're going to go 132, 75, and 38. And now when we compile and run this, we actually need to move this. We don't need this line. I'm going to move this below the eyes. And now when I compile and run this, we have, hopefully, my monkey. And look at that, isn't that a pretty monkey? Now we also don't have an outline of the face. Do you see that? So what we want to do is we want to make that outline so it actually makes sense. So we're going to find the face, the head. I'm going to copy this line. Oops. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a g.setColor to color.black. So we have a black outline. And then instead of fill, I'm going to do draw. And what that'll do is that'll insert a black overline of the face. So now we can see the monkey. And that's all we need to do. There's 10 objects with circles, lines, and ovals. Have a nice day. See ya.